Good morning, everybody. It is Meteorologist Age Weather Forecast, guys. Welcome back to the video. You guys are probably wondering why I'm posting super early for kind of me. Well, actually, because I'm going to be leaving quite soon to go to the airport because, again, we are flying instead of driving because it's such a mess. And speaking of the mess, we're going to be doing another update on this major Gulf system that's currently bringing a ton of rain for me right now. So, yeah, we would have been driving for a couple hours now, but it's just a mess, and we're going to be seeing a couple plane delays in the southeast, but I'm leaving at around 4 o'clock. That's when it clears up just a little bit for the Atlanta area, but for the rest, it will be getting a lot worse as we get into tomorrow as well. So, yeah, we're going to be looking at a ton of new current radars. We're going to be seeing a ton of new a ton of plane delays. I will try to post when I get to Miami around 7 o'clock. Today's hotel, but I'll get there earlier, of course, around 5 o'clock. But yeah, so be sure to subscribe, guys, if you guys are new to the channel, guys. I do a ton of new daily weather forecasts, and also be sure to subscribe if you love those daily weather forecasts and want to know about what's going around in your area. Also, be sure to share the channel to any friends or family that you think are going to be affected by this or are going to be affected by this for their Christmas travel. But yeah, without further ado, let's get in this video. Alright, so we're going to be looking at the National Weather Service right now. There's a couple new changes for the areas in the southeast. Again, we actually are seeing wind advisories throughout much of Georgia and Alabama. Again, it's going to be more of a eastern part of Alabama, as western has already got a taste of it, really. But we're going to be seeing this rain still throughout all of these areas right here, all of them. So Mississippi and Alabama, you guys are still going to get a ton of rain, but it's not going to be really windy again. We're going to be seeing tropical storm-like downpours and maybe even force winds. Again, it's going to be much for Atlanta, Georgia, Macon, Georgia, here's near Birmingham, maybe not far from Montgomery, much of near Columbus, Georgia, my area, into not far from Helen. And then, of course, we have the flash flood watches. I'm actually surprised at how they're not as widespread as I thought. They're going to be only have flash flood watches and flood watches throughout areas near Charleston and Myrtle Beach, Savannah, Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, and Columbia, South Carolina. But we're going to be looking at some really quick right here. We're going to be looking at the radar throughout the southeast. So, yeah, it's a mess right now. This is actually what we're seeing for the past 3 hours. And it's going to be currently. So just look at this massive system right here again. It is just getting started. You're probably thinking, oh, this is the worst. This is not going to be as bad. Well, this is actually just the start of it. Look at the major thunderstorms we're going to be seeing throughout not far from Huntsville. We're seeing incredibly heavy bands now into the Pensacola area. Incredibly heavy bands now actually entering now into Columbus, Georgia. I was probably going to be right here if we left at around 4 a.m. Look at that. That's just a mess, and we're still going to have to go through all of this, and that's going to just be crazy. And it was incredibly dangerous. It would have been like a 20-hour drive instead of 12. But we're seeing these incredibly strong bands heading to the areas of South Carolina. Again, we're still seeing these bands going inland. Like, it hasn't really been here for that long. It's going to continue to go inland. We're also seeing this rain kind of calming down for New Orleans, calming down for the Gulf Coast, really, but we are going to be seeing this rain intensify a lot. We're seeing incredibly heavy rain near Birmingham, the Huntsville, or the Montgomery area has not yet to see really as bad. It has kind of left from earlier today. This morning, we're seeing incredibly heavy bands, though, into southeastern Alabama. Again, it's going to start entering Macon, Georgia. We saw some very strong bands within the past couple of hours in Atlanta. We saw a couple delays, and then we'll start to clear just a little bit, and then we'll have this band to come right after I depart. And we are seeing multiple bands actually to Florida. Like, look how widespread it is. It actually looks like a tropical storm, in my opinion. That's what it's looking like right here. Now we're going to be looking at the GFS the next 6 hours, and for the next 6 hours, it's going to start bringing heavier rain throughout these areas in the southeast. Again, going to continue to bring in very heavy rain throughout Montgomery for the next 6 hours, and start to bring incredibly heavy rain through Pensacola, and then even bring some heavier rain near Tallahassee, and maybe even Tampa Bay. As we now get into the next 12 hours, it starts to, again, bring that heavier rain not far from Atlanta, Georgia, starting to bring very heavy rain from Macon, Georgia. Again, where I was going to start driving this. That's a mess. Incredibly heavy rain for Valdosta, Georgia, which is actually on the border of Florida, and then incredibly heavy, another wave of rain throughout Mobile, a lot of rain throughout Pensacola, Birmingham, Huntsville. All these areas are going to continue to be seeing incredibly heavy rain. And again, it's also going to start bringing some more rain out inland. So again, northeastern Georgia and even to the South Carolina coast, we'll see that heavier rain now. As we now get in the next 24 hours, this is when it gets a lot worse. We're going to start seeing some heavier rain out entering into the southern Florida area. Maybe even Orlando can get a taste of this heavier rain on Monday. This is a Christmas Eve. It's going to start bringing a ton of rain throughout the western coast. For Florida, I see incredibly heavy rain again for Savannah, Georgia as well. And I'm going to start seeing this rain kind of coming back to New Orleans as it's kind of rotating. This low pressure system kind of rotating like this. And again, so we're going to bring some heavier rain out for near Asheville, North Carolina. Quite a good rain for near Greenville, South Carolina. And then we're going to have a little band that's going to be kind of avoiding Atlanta. We're going to have two bands that are going to be avoiding Atlanta. And then within the next 36 hours, it starts to bring in incredibly heavy rain throughout these areas near Myrtle Beach, again in Charleston. You're going to be seeing probably the heaviest rain out of all of it. And this is going to cause huge delays, without a doubt. Going to cause major delays for those people who are trying to fly in from all these other areas late. Like, they might have to come to Atlanta. They might have to come to Nashville. They might have to come to Raleigh. Maybe even have to come to Montgomery. Like, just to an overlay, so because they are not going to make you fly here, landing here, especially within Monday night, but most likely going to make you come through Atlanta or maybe even Greenville, maybe even Charlotte as well. So yeah, there's going to be some really big plane delays for many of these areas, and then it should be out again by Christmas Eve. Now we're looking at the NAM3KM model here. Again, this is one of the detailed radars here. Again, it's all the way in the next 38 hours. But within the next hour, again, we are seeing these incredibly heavy bands kind of moving in near Birmingham, Alabama. Starting to see incredibly heavy rain for Valdosta, and we are seeing these heavier front bands heading to Columbus. Again, we're also seeing this rain calming down for Mobile. We are seeing Montgomery kind of avoiding this right now, and we are going to be seeing this rain kind of go like this. Again, we are seeing some rain in 3 areas in my area. Near Lake Lanier, we're starting to get some rain within the next hour or so. It's been quite heavy for the past couple hours, though. As we now get into the next 5 hours, this is when it's starting to bring a ton of rain throughout Birmingham. Starting to bring very heavy rain near Huntsville, some more bands throughout Montgomery. Gonna get a lot worse, though, for northern Florida. Actually bringing a ton of rain throughout far northern Florida. Gonna see incredibly heavy rain now for Valdosta, starting some more rain to Savannah. And then even some incredibly strong thunderstorms just south of Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson Airport. And then as we now get in the next 8 hours, again, it is clearing up for Atlanta because, again, the airport south of Atlanta right here. So, again, it's actually going to be getting a clear as I leave, so it's going to be perfect timing. Hopefully, I didn't jinx it, but we have a strong band. It's going to head straight for it right when I leave. I'm going to go Z, and then it's going to go re, and then, yes, it's going to go like that. So, perfect timing. So those people who have 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock flights, they are definitely going to get delayed, or if not delayed, this is definitely going to be very messy on the road, on the highways and on the roadways. Again, we're going to be seeing incredibly heavy rain for Savannah, Georgia, Valdosta, Georgia, and we're going to be seeing some flooding threats for that, the Okefenokee Swamp. As we now get into the next 13 hours, so again, it's going to be very late. It's at 10 o'clock tonight. This is where it's definitely going to be, there's definitely, you're not going to get out of Atlanta. There's just no chance you're going to get out in this weather right here. It's just way too dangerous, way too risky. You're going to start bringing some flooding threats now for Sydney, Lake Sidney Lanier. Going to start bringing some very heavy rain out through Valdosta and having some more bands entering into the southern Florida area, which is definitely going to cause some threats for maybe. Just look at these strong bands. It's going to bring multiple thunderstorms for these areas near south of Orlando. Going to get incredibly strong storms for Miami. I'm like right in the center of that. That's definitely going to be messy. I'm going to be in Key Biscayne. That's a little island off Miami, and that's going to be even worse for that little island. It's going to be like a hurricane, not line. It's going to be like a small taste of a hurricane. And then it's going to be out by the next 30 hours. It's going to bring in these incredibly strong bands throughout Myrtle Beach. It's just going to be very messy throughout these areas, guys. It's just going to be, there's going to be tornadoes. I feel like there's going to be a couple tornadoes, and then by even the next 39 hours, it's still going to bring in incredibly heavy rain from Myrtle Beach. And then actually now by the next 40 hours, it's going to start leaving these areas. But yeah, now we're going to be looking, and I don't know why I have this pulled up. And now we're going to be looking at the precipitation here. Again, we're going to be seeing not as much precipitation left to come, because we saw a good amount last night. So it looks like Montgomery, on the other hand, we'll be seeing another 3 inches. Huntsville, another 3 inches. And looks like Huntsville will be seeing around 2 inches. I'm sorry, guys, I have to sneeze. I'm just trying to hold it in. And then Pensacola going to get another 3 inches to 3.5 inches. Atlanta going to get around an inch or two, same as my area. And then it looks like Macon, Georgia will be seeing up to 4 inches of rain. Savannah, Georgia, up to 5.5 to 6 inches of rain. And then look at this right here. It looks like Charleston and Myrtle Beach will be seeing up to 9 inches of rain. It's going to be a mess, guys. It's just going to bring huge threats without much of travel. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And again, I'm gonna have my winter forecast come out later this earlier this afternoon before I take off at 4 o'clock. But bye, guys. Stay safe.